Now we are live. We are live with the Disney Crush podcast live stream Tuesday night. We are competing with Mickey's Runaway Railway dedication, and we are competing with Super Tuesday. So I don't know who's with us, but we got Ulli Eisermann with us. She's
Ooh,
joining us. Oh, Steve is watching. He's not worried about Super Tuesday, so that's good. He's got his mug of Joe there. Is that coffee, Dave?
absolutely not.
Oh, okay. Uli's joining us. Ulli just spent 14 days at Walt Disney World. She did a split stay at Disney's Riviera Resort and the Contemporary. You had a theme park view at the Contemporary, right? In the tower.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
Some good views.
So, Dave, you had some things you wanted to get out of the way before we started?
Well, I know that they just got the glitch fixed at Rise of the Resistance. Hey, Tom. So people were able to get Rise of the Resistance
from home.
boarding groups from sitting in their couch, and you're no longer supposedly able to do that.
Okay.
So, and of course, yeah, we just said Mickey's Runaway Railway. After 91 years, Mickey finally has his own ride now.
It opens tomorrow, but they're doing the dedication tonight. Yep. And a lot of the press already got to ride it. And the cast members got to ride it.
Yep.
So we're excited about that.
And I heard Splash Mountain went down and Haunted Mansion went down today. So
yeah, they said Haunted Mansion went down last night and that it actually is closed for undisclosed technical issues. And they are not saying when it's going to reopen, but they said the closure might take longer than we would hope. It might be 3 or more days. So they said if you have a fast pass, they'll give you a multiple experience fast pass in its place. So as ever, if you want to come on and comment in the live stream, you have to give StreamYard permission. So you would click the link at the top on Facebook where it says give StreamYard permission to post my name. So go ahead and do that. And if you comment, we will know who you are. And there's Becky. It looks like a bunch of Ulli's fans are here.
Hi, Ralph. That's my brother.
Oh. Hi, Ralph. Oh,
it is.
They're all Ulli people. See? They're not here for you,
Ulli.
Dave.
We wouldn't have anybody on here if it wasn't for you.
Well, it's funny because the 3 people that are here, I don't know. Ralph was in Disney in 2008 or 10, I think, and I don't think Becky or Liz have ever been to Disney. So.
Oh wow!
Maybe this is the picture to go.
I'm distracted by the other video that's playing right now.
Okay. And we all appreciate that Tom came from the Pacific Northwest.
Of course.
Yeah, that's the beautiful Northwest.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Ulli, you were at Disney for 14 days. What were your dates? I've got your little trip report here you sent me.
Yeah, February 1st to the 15th. And I feel like I should do a disclosure real quick. I worked at the Disney College program back 100 years ago in 1992.
Oh, yeah?
And I have friends that I still have now that I made back then. So they give me park tickets sometimes, and they also share with me their discounts on resorts. So that is why we are able to afford to stay at places like the Riviera and the Contemporary, because as you know, it's super expensive. So.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
With friends like that.
I know, right?
So where did you come from? Where do you live, Ulli?
We live in Hampton Beach, New Hampshire, on the seacoast of New Hampshire, about 25, 30 miles northeast of Boston, Massachusetts.
Okay. Yeah. So you were hoping to get out of the cold, but Florida is really fickle in the winter. You'll have hot days and cold days.
Perfectly. We had 90-degree weather. We had 50-degree weather, but we were able to wear shorts and stuff, and it was great. It was beautiful.
I wanted to say hello to Travis. Travis has a sick one at home that he's been taking care of, and we're all thinking about her. I know you got a trip coming up in a couple of weeks, and we want her better for that. So take care of her, please, Travis.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, Anna's here. Hey, Anna.
There's Miss Anna. All right. So Ulli.
Hey, Bryson. Everybody's coming on. This is cool.
I like everyone, but I love Bryson. So you stayed at Riviera, which just opened in December.
Yes.
And what kind of room were you in at Riviera?
Yeah, we rented points from a friend, and we were in a studio. We were on the 9th floor. That's a view from the 9th floor at sunset that you have up there, right there.
Nice, beautiful.
Yeah, it was in the studio. That's one of the pull down beds, and then there's a second Murphy bed as well. That's a queen size, where I actually slept. Dave and Tony Ann know that Mike and I were both sick during our trip, and it was during
right
here at the Riviera. So it was good that we had that second bed because we didn't have to breathe on each other.
Oh, that's good. You know, I guess I didn't pull that picture over. The one of the one of the queen size Murphy. That's the one that's a couch, right? It's a couch, but it's an actual bed, an actual mattress. It's not a pull out couch. It's a Murphy bed. So the back of the couch comes down on top of it. I wish I had the picture. I don't have it. But this is the bed that the first night Riviera was open fell on top of somebody's grandma. So I guess they bolted it in good for you because you didn't.
Yeah,
no
we
trouble.
never used that one, but that looked like it was meant for a child. That's at least a twin size, you know.
Yeah. So
the good things about the studio was that there was 2 showers in there. They were both
in a studio.
Yeah, one of them had the rain head. They were both marble. They were beautiful. One of them with a true shower stall, and the other one had the tub. So if you have kids and you want the tub still, you had it. But there was 2 showers, so you could get ready at the same time in the morning. That was really great. And it does sleep 5, like we talked about, because it has the queen bed and then the Murphy queen bed and then that twin bed.
And that's a studio. Is it a deluxe studio or that's just their regular studio?
So it's called a deluxe studio, but their only other studio is the Tower Studio. So that's the smaller one that only has the Murphy bed.
Okay.
So while it accommodates 5 people, I'm not sure I'd want to be in there with many more than 3. Just the 2 of us, especially when the Murphy bed was down, and in the regular bed, if you had that other Murphy bed down, I don't know how you'd go to the bathroom in the middle of the night if you got up. Because I don't know where you're going to walk, but
you'd be banging into it.
Yeah. Hi, Lisa. And the other thing, because of all these Murphy bed scenarios, there's no storage whatsoever. We actually we had to use the closet, which I use sometimes anyway, and then our nightstand drawers we had to use. There was only 2 drawers under the bed, the regular bed itself, and that's it. There's no other drawers anywhere. So that was really lacking, I thought. And even in that little mini kitchen that they give you in a studio with the sink and the microwave and the the coffee maker, sorry, that was very small too, and very little storage. Like if you had brought any snacks with you or anything, there wasn't really any place to put them because the cabinets all had stuff in them already that Disney supplies you,
Oh, yeah.
But something that was really nice was the artwork in all of the rooms. And we did find out from talking to the cast members at the Riviera Resort that every room type has different artwork.
Nice.
Because I remember, is it Lou Mangello? Is that his name?
Yeah, Lou
I had watched one of his podcasts when he was there, and his artwork was different than our artwork. So I was like, hey, how come I don't have any space in my room? But come to find that that's why. And so there was a really nice Riviera, picture on our Murphy bed. And then when you pulled the Murphy bed down, we had 101 Dalmatians was our art.
Nice.
And then throughout the resort was beautiful artwork. And I actually, all of it is available to purchase in the gift shop.
Really? I didn't know that. Yeah.
And this is one of my favorites that you just put up. There's a whole hallway dedicated to Walt. And I love this, all these black and white photos. Mike and I took a lot of time looking at these. And the photo it's on the right as I'm looking at it. I'm assuming it's on the right as everybody else is. But I was cracking up because it's Walt Disney World. Ha, get it with the globe?
Oh, yeah.
So, but we loved that part. And there's a ton of hidden Mickeys in the room, in the hallway. I don't know what pictures you grabbed, but in the foyer of the whole hotel where the cars pull underneath, when you look up, it's going to be one of the biggest hidden Mickeys on property. It's really cool. It's very plush, very grand, but also very small, if that makes any sense. It's plush and everything's new, of course, because they just opened in December, but all on a small scale. The lobby area, where you would normally check in your bags and everything, is pretty much non-existent. There's a couple
Yeah,
tables.
I was underwhelmed by the lobby when I went
Yeah.
there for breakfast.
There was a lot of seating available, and we actually took advantage of that a couple different times. And there was a lot of like, here's a little space for you guys to sit, and here's a little space for you. Like, even though it was a small area, there was definitely places where you could sit with a family and talk for a minute. And then also my favorite, if you're walking into the lobby and then just keep going on either side. I'm motioning, but you can't see that. On either side of the lobby, they had outdoor seating with very plush,
Oh.
comfy chairs, so you could overlook the outdoor area. It was really, really nice.
And you could have a cup of coffee probably because they have that little coffee shop in the
Right.
lobby, that
Yep.
Petite Cafe or whatever it is.
Yeah, and according to Mike, it's the best caramel macchiato on property. So
Oh, I wanted to ask you what that was.
that is banana bread with chocolate on top, and then that Mickey is also a piece of chocolate.
And was that from Riviera?
From the Riviera, very swank.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Now, did you partake at all in the quick service there? Because I've heard reviews of Topolino's, but I haven't heard much about. Is it Primo Piatto or Piatto
Exactly.
Primo? Okay.
Yep. And we did several times. So I'll say something positive about them first.
Okay. Well,
When
I
Mike,
want to hear it.
yeah, when Mike was sick, they have a soup of the day, and every day we were there for 7 days, and every day it was hello, Melissa. Every day it was tomato basil. So I'm like,
The soup of the day every day was the same soup.
Yeah. So I'm like, why don't you just say you have tomato basil instead of saying soup of the day? But anyway, so I went and I asked, I said, my boyfriend's not feeling well. He's been in the room all day. Is there any way I can get some chicken soup? The chef made him 4 orders of chicken soup and charged him for the cup of the soup a day.
Wow.
So, and it was really good. Mike totally enjoyed it. They didn't have any crackers per se, but that was fine. But like any saltines or, when you're not feeling well, that kind of goes with it. But they made soup for him to order. That was phenomenal. And so that was really nice. And so even though it's a quick serve, everything is made to order. So they have burgers, and they have a hanger steak that's $17.99, and it was better than the filet at Be Our Guest.
Really?
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And
hey, Shannon. Hey, Shannon.
Really recommend going there. We had breakfast there. It was really good. They had an amazing, I can't remember what it's called now, but it was Texas toast pretty much with an egg, sunny side egg on top of it, and then cheese just gooey over all of it. It was really good. And then we had lunch and dinner there. They have, and one night we were there for dinner, and we had both ordered the hanger steak. I had just was looking at the receipt to be like, how long have we been sitting here? Because it just felt like it was just getting to be a minute too long. And they came over, and they it was nice of the chef Ralph. They came over and they're like, I'm so sorry, this is late. Here's your food. Can I get you some gelato? Do you like ice cream? And they came over with gelato for us, and so they were very nice and very accommodating. But I have to tell you now too, they're very slow. I was just about telling you about that food, but taking the order. Use mobile order. Use mobile ordering if you walk down there and there's a line, because it takes them a long time to get through the line. There's only 2 cashiers. I know that they're still new. When they opened December 15th, I think, and we were there February 1st. So I know that they haven't had a lot of time, but it was very slow going if you had to stand in that line. They do not offer an in-room dining at all, but you can mobile order, and then they will deliver it to you for the low price of $15. So,
for $15?
Yeah.
Wow.
So you can mobile order, walk down and get it, and bring it back up. But,
yeah, that's what I would do. But now, because I'm thinking, when you stay at Pop Century or Art of Animation or Caribbean Beach, you could just take the Skyliner over, and that would be convenient just to give you some more options. So
yes. And I that was actually going to be the next thing that I talked about. That was definitely one of the pros of staying at the Riviera is the Skyliner, because like Dave likes to call it, it is a people eater. We never stood in line ever. Anytime we walked up, there may have been 5 people in front of us, 6 people in front of us, but it just goes. I was worried about being grouped with a family and then breaking down and having to designate a P corner with strangers. So I'm very happy to report that we were able to get our own carts very often. And when we did have to share, everybody was very nice. And it did break down twice when we were there, but fortunately we were not on it.
Oh, okay.
Once they were stopped for 20 minutes and once they were stopped for 40 minutes.
Oh, wow. Ooh,
So, so fortunately we weren't on it and didn't actually ride it again afterwards. It just happened to fall where it fell in our stay. But and that is really cool. We took the Skyliner over to the Art of Animation because I've never been there before. Because if you don't have a car, which we never have a car, it's really difficult to get around resort to resort when you're on Disney property. Yep. So there I am with Prince Eric and Nader. So if you have kids, or if you're a kid like me and you want to get your picture taken with, I do talk fast, Ralph. Thank you for reminding me. Especially when I'm excited about a topic.
What's up, Mandy?
It was hi, Mandy. It was very easy to get from the Riviera to Pop Century, Art of Animation, Hollywood Studios, and Epcot. However, on the con side, they were not open in time to rope drop anything. So we had to take an Uber over when we wanted to try and rope drop Hollywood Studios for Rise of Resistance.
Right.
And there was one day when we were coming back from, I don't know, Hollywood Studios, or She Loves You Too. When it was very windy, and it was just the two of us in the car that time, and I was that was the one time I was wishing there was more of us in the car to keep it weighted down.
Keep the weight down.
But we were in the car, and it was very windy, and we were both like, oh, and like, you know how it goes by those stanchions?
Yeah.
We were like, oh, we're gonna like swing into that thing. It was that windy.
Oh my
God!
God!
When we went off, the cast members that were there, I said, well, that was terrifying, and he's like, it's only like 15 miles an hour, and he said, I have no documentation of this, but he said that they were tested up to 120 miles an hour.
Wow!
I don't know how they could have done that, if they did it there or not. Yes, exactly, Mandy Ray. Skyliner wasn't open, so we had to take the Uber. But so Mike felt better about riding it if it had been tested to 120. But I'm like, there's no way you could be on it if it was 120. At 15, it was going like this, you know. But it was really good to go. Another con about the Riviera, though, even though you can take the Skyliner, we both felt isolated. At Contemporary, you can walk to the Magic Kingdom. You can jump on the monorail and get different places. At Boardwalk and Beach Club, you can walk along the boardwalk and everything like that. When the Skyliner was down, the buses still only run once an hour. It's not like they go get more buses.
Really?
They don't call in more bus drivers or anything. So it's still only once an hour. So we felt very isolated there, which isn't a bad thing because it's a beautiful resort. If you're the kind of person that goes to Disney and has downtime, if you spend, the morning in the park and come back to hang out at the resort for a little while, totally recommend it. But it's kind of expensive to stay there. It costs a lot of points too to stay there if you're using your DVC points, and so if you're the kind of person that wakes up and goes and you don't come back until after the fireworks, I would probably just stay at All Star. But
for the money,
very nice. And there's lots of places to be and sit without having to be a registered resort guest. Like those places to sit right outside the coffee place, and then downstairs there was swinging, like porch swings. They had a bocce ball court. They had a fire pit at night for s'mores and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm always going to talk fast, just so you know. Pro tip, death buckets are better without a wrap.
Yeah.
If you're standing in line and you see one coming and they say, and the next one's not wrapped, say, can I get the next one?
Yeah, I agree, Ulli, because you can't really see out of the ones that are wrapped.
No,
the view's not good. You can't, and you sure can't take pictures at them. Like I was trying to take pictures and forget it. Yeah.
No, not at all.
Cam loved the Boca courts and the beach beds.
Bocce ball, yeah.
Bocce ball.
Bocce ball. So tell me about.
Hey, Susan.
Tell me about this. Tell me about your experience with this.
Yeah. Wait, can I just show you? I should have showed you the other picture. Wait, let me show you this.
Hey.
So this is January 2019 at Rope Drop.
Yeah.
That's 1 year ago. That is what my favorite park looked like. And
this is now at Rope Drop.
So we Ubered because we were staying at Riviera and the Skyliner doesn't run early enough. Hi, Renee. So we Ubered over. We scheduled it for 7 a.m. They arrived, no problem. Our first guy spoke zero English.
Yeah.
He was actually really cool. On his phone, he had a translator. So he spoke into it and then spoke to us.
Good.
So he was motioning about the Skyliners when we were pulling in and stuff, but we're like, no hable español, señor.
Right.
But anyway, we went all the way to the right, just like everybody has always said. That worked perfectly. I got run over by a lady with a baby cart, but anyway, kept going, all the way to the right. And then the people in front of us are like, all of a sudden, like all these people are joining their party. I'm like, what's happening? But we had time, so I wasn't trying to be nervous.
Right.
We were in the park. I'm gonna say 7:20. We were in the park. Maybe 7:30. So we had plenty of time. We made our way down Sunset Boulevard. And there was a cast member who was so mean, and she was yelling at everybody, get off the sidewalks. And she was not happy about her job at all.
Okay.
But anyway, we saw people cut in line, and we saw people doing all sorts of things they shouldn't do. But anyway, so 8 o'clock comes, and I get my app, and I'm like, oh my God, it's not turning red. What do I do? And so finally it went red, and I got boarding group 49.
Okay.
And the gentleman next to us, who we had been talking to the whole time, his wasn't turning red either. So I grabbed his phone and exited out and got back in and got him boarding group 2. He was in the 90s somewhere.
Yeah.
But so then that was at 8 o'clock in the morning. That's the parks opened at 8 that morning. So we all scrooged the line all the way down to a single file line to go on Rock and Roller Coaster.
And
when we came off, it was a 60-minute wait. Oh, I don't know all the pictures that Tony.
What's wrong with Mike? What's happening?
He looks
right, can't you tell?
It's awesome.
That's a great picture.
That's really an awesome picture.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can tell, the shirt that I'm wearing actually says, "Hey Mickey, how about some backstage passes?" and the Aerosmith logo.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
I love that.
But so it was a 65-minute wait when we got out of there, and we didn't have fast passes until 9 because originally the park was scheduled to open at 9. They changed their hours a week before our trip. So we just kind of hung out and moseyed around the stores, looked at all the pictures that are in all the stores, and we're like, "Is that Walt Disney? Is this Lillian Disney?" And everyone's the cast members were all like, "I have no idea."
They don't know.
But yeah, and then so we had lunch reservations that day at the Brown Derby. There we are, and we were celebrating our anniversary on this trip, so it was nice to go there and have that meal.
I love the Brown Derby.
Just as the people at the Hollywood Brown Derby said Eisermann Party of 2, my phone went off and said, you can now return to ride the Ride of Resistance.
Of course.
No. Literally.
Of course, which is one of the things I hate most about the system.
Yeah, but I do think it does seem like Disney is using their technology to the best. And I did make that T-shirt. It does seem like Disney is using their technology to know we were going to sit down for lunch for 2 hours. And so 2 hours. You know what I mean? That they weren't like, okay, they just did Star Tours. They're around the corner. They can come back in an hour.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So you had the hour return time?
Well, we had 2.
Oh, you had a 2-hour return time.
We did get 2 hours.
Okay.
Because we had just sat down to lunch, or we had just been called to be sat for lunch. And
right.
It was fine. So we took our time. We enjoyed our lunch. We were there for about an hour and a half. We, enjoyed everything, and then we did go ride it, and it was amazing. And it was so funny when we approached the cast members to scan in our magic bands. One of the cast members went, "Woo!" and we were like, "Woo!" and then everybody was like, "Yeah!" And it was just like, I think they were just happy that somebody wasn't coming to yell at them. Maybe.
Yeah.
It was just funny. And then I don't know how many details you want me to give about the Rise of the Resistance, but
yeah, we try not to spoil it, but
yeah, it's very cool.
Wonderful.
From the moment you're past those cast members, the theming starts.
Yeah.
And
I say it's not really a ride. I say it's more of an experience.
Yeah.
No, people are like, how long was it? And I'm like, I can tell you that the moment from the moment we got in line, or past the cast members, to the moment we got off was 57 minutes.
Yeah.
But I have no idea how much of that was on the ride, how much of that is pre-show, how much of that was new, because the whole thing is an experience.
Yeah.
For sure.
So your lunch included dessert, right?
It did. We were celebrating our anniversary that week, so I had ordered this. It was from the Disney cake line at Hollywood Studios, and it says "Happy Anniversary to the Rockin' Couple," because Mike and I met because I was a singer and he was a bass player, and we were in a band for years together.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So it was really cool, and it was huge. It's they said a 6-inch cake, and I don't know, it's ginormous. We each had a piece, and then we left it with them at Hollywood Studios to go ride the Resistance, and then came back and picked it up. But we ended up just throwing it away because
that is such a cool cake.
Yeah, it was really cool, and it was only $38.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't think that was bad.
No, that's not bad at all, because I've heard a lot higher prices. One of those dome cakes that just the Mickey dome is $35.
Yeah. Thank you, Mandy.
Wow.
Together.
Wow.
Yep. It's an experience for sure, Mandy.
Yep.
So what did you think? What did you think of Galaxy's Edge in general? I saw you had a droid. You showed me. Don't fall off your chair.
No, right? Well, his battery, like once I ignored him for a minute, so he's. Woo, hold on.
Oh, it's okay.
Turn your head.
What's he saying?
Really? Oh, okay, I understand. He's talking about Super Tuesday. We don't want to talk about that.
Oh, okay.
No, but it was amazing. I was very impressed with Galaxy's Edge theming, and let me tell you this: I haven't heard. The cake was $38, Ralph. That was a specially made dessert, and they have just a generic Mickey Mouse cake that's $35, and this was specially made for Mike and I for $38. So that was
amazing.
That's really good.
Yeah. So I don't know if y'all have how much time you spent in Galaxy's Edge, or if you've noticed it yourself, or if anybody has said to you. I noticed over by Smuggler's Run. That it was very noisy and energetic, and everything's happening, and even the things that the cast members are using to like put the trash away sound like a motorcycle like rumbling by.
Yeah.
And then over on the other side where Chewie meets and stuff, where the land speeder is and all of that, the things that the cast members push were like zzz, like a land speeder like kind of noise, and I was like, am I just reading into this too much, or is that seriously a detail that they did? Is how can we take the trash out in Galaxy's Edge?
Yeah.
I think it is. I think the theming goes that deep.
Yeah, it really does. Hey, Chad.
Hi, Chad.
Hello. So I was very impressed with it. I did the Build-A-Droid. I got to ride the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. I was the pilot. I offered the people around me to be the pilot because I said we are going to crash. But what I didn't know is that there are two pilots. There's you, I was pilot, and then I was pilot right, and there was a left pilot. That's much more difficult than just piloting it yourself, because you don't know what the left pilot's going to do. I was up and down, and he was left and right.
Yeah.
So like I'm going up, but he's not going left. So we crashed a lot, but
that's all right.
I don't know. Right. I was supposed to make note of our score when we got exited, but I did not, so I don't know what our score was. But
that's okay.
There's a lot going on in that ride.
And this was the highlight of your trip, right?
It was my very first day there. Long-haired hippie guy.
Yeah.
No,
he looks like
I got to meet Dave and Veronica.
Well, so he looks like a vagrant.
We did. We got a chance to meet her. That was awesome because we were actually, I think, on our way out. We were leaving that day.
You were.
And and of course they didn't feel good, but I'm glad I was able to meet Ulli. Unfortunately, Mike was feeling too bad. He couldn't make it. So
we were talking about Chewy mode last night, Chad, that we want to get a bunch of us together to do Chewy mode together. If you don't know what Chewy mode is, it's a special secret version of the ride where instead of Hondo leading your mission, Chewy leads your mission, and he just makes Chewy noises through the whole thing.
I was gonna say, but Hondo tells you, pilot right, do this. What is
No, Chewie just, yeah, exactly.
What did he say?
So,
So you have to not care if you're gonna crash,
Yeah.
I guess. You're gonna have two.
so was this the view from your balcony at Riviera?
Oh yeah, that's actually, thank you so much. We were on the 9th floor of the Riviera and we had a standard view, which meant we were overlooking the parking lot. But because we were on the
So
9th floor,
high.
we could see downtown Disney. We could also see the back of Epcot. I don't know if you have that picture at night.
I don't have it because I was limited in how many pictures I could pull over.
No, I know. I'm sorry. But so we were actually on the backside of the lagoon in Epcot. So we could see the fireworks every night from our room. We saw all the kites flying around and all of that. And it was a very strange perspective to be on that side of everything.
Yeah.
Because normally you're in front of it.
Yeah.
So it was very cool. And then from the other side, we didn't have a view at all. Like if you went across the hallway from us, but from the 9th floor, even though it was a standard view, always ask for a high room because.
Well, that's similar. That's similar to the view we have when we stay at Bonnet Creek.
Yeah, and you know what? Actually, from there too, if we were looking at Epcot, if you look beyond Epcot and you had your binos on or whatever, no, you could see it with your naked eye. But we could even see the Contemporary from there.
Wow.
And I was like, what? And then we could see the Tron.
Really?
Trains too. Yep.
Wow. So tell me about the new iteration of Beaches and Cream, because I saw you eating there. Is it pretty much the same as the old Beaches and Cream, just bigger, or?
It's exactly the same. It's just bigger.
Did it lose any of its charm? Because to me, it doesn't look as, I don't know. It doesn't look as
this picture, we actually went twice. I went once by myself when Mike wasn't feeling well because we had a reservation that I didn't want to miss out on.
Okay.
And then we went again when he was feeling better. But so at that picture of the No Way Jose, I'm sitting at the counter.
Oh,
which
okay.
used to be really cool. I don't know if you've ever sat at the counter, you could see them making the food and making the ice cream and stuff. And now it was just kind of a place to sit. Like it wasn't anything like, wow, this is really cool. But they still turn the lights off and put the sirens on when somebody orders a cake and everyone says, a whole can, all of that. But it's the exact same menu. The quality of food hasn't gone down. As a matter of fact, when Mike and I were there last year, we went and I gave an applausogram to a girl who works there named Ariel. And she was there again this time. And I went over and talked to her and talked to her manager. And she's since gotten a promotion and stuff. So it was good to see and that, they recognized their good workers and stuff. So yeah, but it was good. I mean, it's comfort food, I guess. The tomatoes and I always have the Reuben. I love the Reuben. The No Way Jose is amazing, but yep.
So then, at what point did you move?
So on February 8th, we stayed Saturday to Saturday, at the Riviera, and then we moved to the Contemporary Tower Room, 9th floor again.
Look at that view.
Yeah, and this room number was 4525. If anybody wants to record that, if you ever get to, if you can request a room number ever, it's all the way down at the end of the hallway. Which at first, the first time we were walking down there, I was like, seriously, I'm going to walk down this hallway every day this week. But it was so worth it because at first we were like, we're lined up with Main Street, like the view is for the fireworks is going to be amazing, and then we realized that we weren't, but. But it was so far down that it was a really good spot to view the fireworks.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks amazing.
It really does.
And I meant to get the square footage and I didn't, to compare the square footage of the studio at the Riviera compared to this tower room at the Contemporary, because this room was huge. It was so much room. It felt so much bigger. It's just a completely classic, it's the original 1971 room, that of course has been updated, but you can, and the view out that way is great. And then you walk out your door and you have a view inside too of Chef Mickey's and the Concourse, not the Concourse Grill. I'm aging myself.
I love the Concourse Grill.
Yeah, I worked there on my college program.
Tempo Cafe.
Tempo Cafe. I know you like Rubens, Ralph. I like them too. But
And Lisa's really jealous. So
yeah, Lisa, it was amazing. It really was. It was a total dream come true to stay in the tower room and have that view.
Yeah.
And there's just so much to do there. Whether we honestly would just sometimes hang out on the balcony and people watch, go inside and people watch. You can walk to the Magic Kingdom from there. You can jump on the monorail to the Polynesian or the Grand Floridian or Epcot. There's so much to do from there. And if you happen to be on the other side and have a view of the lake, which is a really nice view too, because we've stayed at Bay Lake with that view. There are spots where you can watch the fireworks where they put the music and stuff. Oh, and that was one thing. I called the front desk to say, can you please tell me what channel the music plays for the fireworks? And he said, oh yeah, channel 11 will tell you everything you need to know. So channel 11 is the guide channel. I'm like, can't you just tell me? So FYI, pro tip, channel 105 is the TV channel that will pipe in the music so you can watch the fireworks
from your room. Cool. So you went over, you said you went to the other resorts on the monorail and you went to the new Enchanted Rose.
We did. And we just happened to be there at the right time. I didn't realize that they opened at 4 and we were there at like 3:50. So we just kind of
because it looks empty in the pictures you sent me.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm. And I was taking pictures. This is Mike's $25 not an old fashioned. What the heck is it called? Crud just fell out of my head.
It's okay.
And then that is my $18, I think, lavender fog, which was really, really good.
I hope it was good for $18 and $25.
Well, it was funny because they have a very specific menu. It's back there behind Mike's drink. I'm pointing at it. It. And they have a very limited drink menu and they're all specialty drinks. And Mike's like, I don't know, what do you recommend? So she said, the seasonal sidecar. No,
of course she did, because it was $25.
That's exactly what I said. So when we were looking at it, so Mike's like, that sounds great. So when we're looking at it, I'm like, that's why she recommended it. It's $25.
Oh my gosh.
And then
I like some caviar to go with that.
I know, right? It was very schwank, very, very schwank. I liked when they were making your drink. Oh, look at that.
That's a good picture.
When they were making our drinks, she had these really long tongs that were like pewter and like engraved, and like that's what she used to grab the lavender to put it on and stuff. And it was
my goodness,
very
posh. It was all show, yeah.
So Mike had his $25 drink. I had my drink, and then Mike had a like an espresso martini kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think by the time we tipped her and everything was done, it was like a $65,
Wow, you could have had lunch.
I know. Yeah, for sure. But
did you at least stumble out of there?
Maybe. I'm a bit of a lightweight, so. But it was very nice. There was a lot of different seating areas. Of all of them, but lots of different places. But it's they also do a table side drink. If you're not sitting at the bar, they have this whole cart set up, and your server will come over and concoct a cocktail for you.
Oh,
table
wow.
side.
Very swanky.
Yes, it was very swanky.
So
there didn't seem to be food available until 6 either, but.
Oh, okay. You went on the Caring for Giants tour, which I went on with my mom last year. It's awesome.
And did you keep your name tag made of elephant poop?
Yes, made of elephant poop paper, yes.
Yep. It was very good. You don't get anywhere near the elephants, so if that's something that's important to you, don't bother. But it's $30 a person, and the money goes to the Disney Conservation Fund. So it's a win-win.
Yeah. It's one of the less expensive tours.
It is.
So, yeah.
You do get backstage, but it's yes, Steve, that's right. You do get backstage, but it's very limited, and there's nothing really amazing to see where you are backstage. Yeah. I did learn a lot. This young man is from Zimbabwe. His name is Bright, as in light. I kind of don't want to tell you what they told us because I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll tell you next time if you go. But we did learn a lot about elephants and what they're doing for them in Africa. I will tell you this bit. In Africa, if an elephant comes on your property, that elephant is now yours.
Really?
Yes. And if it damages anything or eats your crops, if you're a farmer, you're allowed to kill that elephant, which
Really?
is not good. So they've come up with something that works out really well. Because I actually said, can't they just scare the elephants away instead of killing them? And they
Mhm.
have come up with something, and you can learn that on the tour what they do because it's really cool.
Cool.
Yep, yep.
All right. So let's see. Oh, there's you on Hollywood Studios. Let's see what else we got. Is that Skipper Canteen?
It is.
Did you have a good meal there?
We did. We both had the chicken, although all of our Swanky is like posh. It costs a lot of money to be there, and we probably weren't dressed appropriately,
Fancy schmancy.
So the Skipper Cantina, we both had the chicken, and we both really enjoyed it. But every server that came over said, "There's no chickens in the jungle," like we don't know what you're eating, Our server was really funny. She kept the gag going. That was over in Epcot. One of the we were there during the Arts
Festival. Festival of the Arts. That's right.
Yep.
I love Mike's faces.
I like this one too. Look at him! Look at him on Mine Train.
I look at the lady's face. I mean, behind her hand.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about, because you were there for your anniversary, but I think there's a little bit of love you give to another young man when you're at Disney.
Yep. That's Tigger. I stood in line for 45 minutes, and
wow.
actually this is on Valentine's Day, and my shirt is a red shirt, and it says "Have a Tiggerific Valentine." And I asked Tigger, "Will you be my Valentine?" He said yes. And then I said, "I hope you get lots of chocolates." And I said, "Wait, do Tiggers like chocolate?" And he said yes. So, but and he's with his paw there. He's tickling my ear with his paw. And there's a video that I have on my Facebook page, and the entire year that we save and don't do anything else and don't go out for dinner so that we have money to go to Disney instead is what this 3-minute video is all about. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Tony, and I've heard you talk about Mickey that way before, that, your job is stressful and everything else that's going on, and you get a hug from your best friend and you're like, okay, I can do this again. He's my favorite. He's my best.
Yep. Exactly. Yep. So you guys went on the Marceline to Magic Kingdom tour, you said.
We did. And let me tell you, I backtrack one moment. Pro tip on the Caring for Giants tour. If you decide to do that, go book the latest tour possible. 3:30 was ours there, and there was no one on the 4:00 tour, so they canceled it. So we had another family with 2 children on our tour. And I was kind of nervous because the kids were asking stupid questions that had nothing to do with defense or anything. And I was like, great, all the tour guide's time is going to be taken up by these people. But once we got near the elephants, the kids stopped talking.
Right.
But so pro tip is to book the latest tour of the day on that one. For the Marceline to Magic Kingdom, book the earliest tour, which is 8 a.m., so that you can get in the parks a little bit ahead of everybody else.
Right.
Have that minute, to have your picture taken on Main Street. I wouldn't probably run to the castle and back unless.
Right.
But you could definitely have a picture taken there with Roy and Minnie without anybody around and stuff. The Marceline to Magic Kingdom tour definitely focuses on Walt, the man. Or the boy growing up. There's a lot of information they give you. Again, I don't want to tell you all the secrets that they told us, and you can't go on the tour. But there was a focus on the Haunted Mansion on this tour. The Keys to the Kingdom we did last year, and we got to go on the Jungle Cruise and something else. Pirates, maybe? I don't know. Something over there.
I went in Haunted Mansion on Keys to the Kingdom.
The only ride to go on is the Haunted Mansion, and they focus really on the Imagineers behind that and such. Well, when we went to go on it, it was down. So we got to go backstage and go underneath and go into the Haunted Mansion. And so the animatronics are all still running, even though the ride's not going. And it was super cool. And when you go on the Haunted Mansion and they have the scene where everybody's sitting at the table and everybody's dancing at the ballroom. I think that's where we were.
Yeah.
So you see how that works, and that was very, very cool. And it was, especially to know that we weren't supposed to do that. They were just letting us do it because the ride was down. And then guess what? The ride came up, so we got to ride the ride too.
Cool.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So that's another one of the less expensive tours too, which is nice. I wanted to mention something. I've been meaning to say it on the podcast. I didn't. Well, we were talking about caring for giants. The tour with the rhinoceroses, which is a similar price point to the caring for giants. I wanted to book it for Mother's Day with my mom, and Mandy was helping me to book it. We found out that tour, like the elephant tour, is given several times a day. The rhino tour is only given once a day, so it's really hard. So if you think you might want to take that rhino tour, you want to book that as soon as you book, at the 180-day points. So just know that.
That's a good. I didn't know that, so that's good.
Yeah, it's only once a. Oh, I haven't done this yet.
Well, my brother's showing that he's from New England. And
yeah, I saw that. It's a wicked piss. I know.
So we took the train. I've never done this before, and this trip was supposed to be about things we haven't done before or haven't done in a really long time. So something we've never done before was take the train over to Rafiki's Animal Planet or whatever it's called.
Planet Watch.
And they had closed it, and I was like, no. And then they opened it, so I'm like, we are so doing this. And Mike's like, what's over there? I'm like, I have no idea, but we're doing it. So we went over, and the first thing everybody's running to is this animation class, which I knew was there. They're scheduled throughout the day. This was the 10 a.m. and they're like, okay, who has a fast pass? And I'm like, what can you, when I'm like going on my phone, like trying to go, do I need a fast pass? You do not need a fast pass.
Okay.
When I asked the guy when I was standing there, I'm like, do I need a fast pass for this? I said, what are the chances I'm going to get into this 10 o'clock group if I don't have a fast pass? He said 100%. And there was a lot of chairs available.
Oh, really? Because I remember the old thing at Hollywood Studios was very limited, and you'd wait and wait for the next show and the next show even.
Well, this is very far out of the way. You're committed if you're doing this. You're taking a train ride out there and everything. And so and somebody knew, because the artist said, okay, does anybody know who we're drawing today? And somebody shouted out, Ed. I don't know how they knew. I don't know if I would have known that it was Ed if I would have gone. So I'm kind of glad that I didn't know.
Yeah.
But did you grab the animators, Ed, too, to see how much better his was than mine?
I saw it on your Facebook page, but I didn't grab it.
I'm not a drawer by any means.
But that's good. I mean, that just shows that. I mean, that's pretty good for someone who's not a drawer.
Yeah, so. I am not at all. Good night, Becky. Thank you so much. I love you too. Good night, Ruby. But yeah, that was really, really fun. And then we kind of walked around just for a minute. I didn't go to the petting zoo thing. There was a surgery that was going on when we were there, but we kind of watched it for a minute. We're like,
yeah,
do see this? I don't
really want to watch it.
Yeah.
Well, Dave loves the petting zoo. That's his favorite thing. Yeah. He likes to just spend hours there petting the sheep.
The kids loved it.
He loves to bring the grandkids there. Yeah.
I can't get them out of there. They could have stayed there all day. I'm like, we got to go. It's time to go.
Right.
So I picked out some of my favorite pictures I found of you.
Yeah, not the most flattering necessarily, but your favorite.
Fine. That area over in Epcot is in the old Odyssey building. They have a preview center, and there's lots of fun photo pass opportunities there, plus previews of what's coming to Epcot. So it's really cool and worth checking out. I wanted to ask you, because I saw this where you had done a cast compliment for a server at Liberty Tree. What was so special about your lunch at Liberty Tree?
Well, have you eaten there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you know that what their costume looks like? It's very Betsy Ross.
Yeah.
Very, like can't show your personality whatsoever.
Right.
And she was just great. She had amazing personality. She brought me a drink when I needed a refill before I had to ask for it. Our food was super fast. I mean, granted, we were there very early. We were there probably 11, 10 in the morning. We were eating already. But she was just fantastic. And in a place where you don't get to share your personality, where you're probably thinking, I have to wear this stupid costume, and you know what I mean? And there's steps everywhere, up and down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And she was just fantastic. So I did a compliment thing for her. And then I got a reply from guest services saying thank you for that. And so I also did one for Tigger. And according to some contacts I have at the Disney Alumni Association, because I did the college program, Tigger was located and notified and appreciative. So
that's so cool.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So you had lunch. Was it lunch or dinner?
We
at
did lunch
Tony's Town Square.
it was 4:20 in the afternoon.
Oh, so yeah.
On Valentine's Day, I thought that would be cute to eat there on Valentine's
Now,
Day.
Tony's gets a bad rap. What do you think of Tony's?
So I've only heard bad things about Tony's until recently, and that's when I was like, okay, you know what? We're going to try it. We loved it. It was so good. We had the spaghetti and meatballs. It was more food than we could eat. We also did the spinach and artichoke dip because I was starving when we got there. So we got that, and then we're like, oh, why did we get that? We can't eat all our food now. But it was fantastic.
Now, I'll tell you, Mandy Malinowski, she raves about the parade package. There's a festival of fantasy parade package that you can get lunch, and it's very reasonable. It includes appetizer, entree, and dessert, and seating for the parade. So she raves about that.
Yeah, so. we were. I've never been there before, so didn't know what the restaurant looked like on the inside at all. We were sat on the inside of the outside, if that makes sense.
I know what you mean. My mom and I it's like an atrium.
Yeah, and then there was tables outside too, and it was a beautiful day, so they were seating even in February outside. And then the flag retreat took place, which I had gone live earlier in the week. So we didn't go out to witness it, but you could hear it from where we were sitting, and you could see it because there was a window. But that was really neat to be there for that. We didn't have any dessert because we were like, no, we're so full, and nothing was like, oh, you have to get this. You know what I mean? So we didn't get that there.
So speaking of dessert, I saw this picture in your pictures. What is that?
Oh my goodness. So you had posted something at the Grand Floridian.
Yeah, that's
when I took this picture, I'm like, is this the thing that Tony Ann was talking about? Yeah. This is a key lime pie at the Grand Floridian Cafe.
Okay.
It is so good. It's like that on top, which looks like a rose, is like meringue, or custard. I don't know, but it's like a creme brulee because it's burnt, obviously, or browned or whatever you call it. Right. Mike got that, and I got the chocolate fondue, which I don't know if you grabbed that picture, but this was so much better. And I was like, can I have a bite? And he didn't finish it, so I got to finish it. But.
Okay. No, the thing I had posted actually came from the quick service. It was like a coconut creme de peau. I don't know how to say it, but that was really good too. So yeah, the bakery at the Grand Floridian is very well known for having some excellent.
Yeah. Everything at the Grand Floridian. I mean, just you can feel the carpet is just plush. When we went into the restroom at the restaurant, like the towels are nice, the toilet paper is nice.
That's another place underdressed, just walking in the lobby there, but
yeah, it's unbelievable.
So you guys had some neat shirts. I saw.
Yeah, I have it on right now. You just can't see it. Yep. We love our Disney crush.
Awesome. Well, you guys sound like you just love. You have young hearts. You're young at heart, both of you. So I love that. I really do. So I'm so glad you shared your trip with us. I'm trying to see if there's any other good pictures I missed. This is still my favorite, I think.
Yeah, if I was you, I would like blow that up.
Yeah,
that's a great one of Mike. He looks like he's having so much fun.
Yeah, that's the best part of waking up right there.
and when I tell you guys, I was really limited in the picture. Ulli sent me over 100 pictures, and there were a lot of keepers in there, but I had to pick and choose. So
yeah. Well, I told her, I turns out I have 100 pictures. Is that too many? Yeah. and I mean, I have way more than 100 pictures, but I narrowed it down to 100 pictures. And then I sent her a message. I said, I'll go through it a little bit. And I think I took out 2. I don't know what to do.
StreamYard only gives me 50, so I have to be limited by that. But other than that, Ulli, I'm so glad you joined us. Was there anything we didn't talk about that you wanted to?
Just the couple things I didn't mention about the Contemporary, about our stay there. Okay. So the food there is great, and obviously, I mean, we've eaten at the California Grill, and we did this trip too, and it was no exception. For 2 of us, we have 2 drinks, we have an appetizer, we have dinner, we have dessert. We're dropping $250 for sure. You know what I mean? It's not something that you do every week, or maybe not even every trip, but it's so nice. And pro tip too, if you cannot get a reservation for the California Grill, they open at 5:00. Go stand in line at 4:30 on level 2, at the Contemporary and go upstairs and either sit at the bar, or there are tables that are designated as part of the lounge that are smack dab, literally in the middle of the restaurant. There are window tables available. There are booths available. And there was people there in t-shirts, like, because it says you're not supposed to wear graphic t-shirts and stuff. And when I say graphic, I mean something that has Mickey Mouse on it, not something that has a swear on it. But people were there. You know, and if you're there at 4:30, you'll get one of those tables, and you can have the whole menu and everything, and not have to have a reservation 180 days in advance. You know, and it was. I didn't know that. I'm like, I'm not stressing over a reservation anymore for this place. You know,
And
that's a great tip.
You talk about how much it costs to eat there. You go sit in the lounge, have a drink, have a couple of appetizers, and it won't, you know. So even if you can't afford to have a full meal there,
so if you want to do the lounge thing, I would recommend being there at 4:30 so that you're in line and get up there. So when it opens at 5, you're one of the first people there. Because everybody is trying to get there for fireworks. But if you go early, you can, when you're finished, you don't have to feel like you have to hog that table and stay there. When you're finished, get the copy of your receipt, and you can go and do whatever you want to do. And then you can come back and show them your receipt, and they'll let you go upstairs and go out on the balcony up there and watch them from there.
That's awesome. That's really awesome.
So that's obviously great. The Contempo Cafe was great. Made to order options. You stand in line to order it, and then they bring it to you. The Joffrey's was great downstairs, and even the store. There's 3 places to shop on that 4th level where the concourse is, where the monorail goes through. And the one that's way in the back on the left, as you're heading towards like Bay Lake, they have like sodas and munchies and cases of water and big bottles of water. Snacky things, breakfast, kind of grab and go kind of stuff. And if you're an AP or probably DVC, I don't know, you get a discount there.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I've been in that shop.
Not just the 5%, it's 20%. So we went back there a couple times to get things that we could have gotten at the Contempo Cafe, but not get 20% off.
Right. Yeah. That's what I was telling Kevin. Kevin Curtis Allen is thinking of getting an annual pass for his next trip. And I said, don't forget, you know, if you want a bottle of water or a bottle of soda, don't buy it from a cart. Go inside a gift shop and buy it and get your 20% discount.
Absolutely.
That's definitely a pro tip. Definitely.
Yeah. And one thing though, let me back up and make a really good comparison. At the Riviera, from our room on the 9th floor, down, walk over to the Skyliner, ride the Skyliner to Epcot, and standing at International Gateway waiting to get in, 20 minutes.
Right.
So that was amazing. I thought, to be like, you know, 9th floor of my hotel, all the way down, walk over, and 20 minutes. That was door to door. It was awesome. From the Contemporary 9th floor, waiting for that elevator takes forever. There are 5 or 6 elevators, but man, it takes forever to get an elevator. And then when you finally get it, you're not going straight to floor 1. You're stopping
at every floor.
6. And the good thing is that Mickey says floor 2, you know, at every time you stop. But it takes a long time to get to the bottom. So that is actually something you need to factor into your day, is that it's going to take you a good 5-10 minutes to get that. And then, of course, walking to Magic Kingdom is amazing from there. We're not trying to beat anybody's, you know, world records or anything. So that was about 15 to a good 20 minutes to walk from the 9th floor all the way to the gates of Magic Kingdom was about 20 minutes.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah. One thing that I was disappointed at the Contemporary, no hidden Mickeys.
Really?
Like in our room, the only Mickeys were on the shower curtain, and they were white on white. Like you really had to see them.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think you grabbed the picture, but the picture of the room over the beds where there would be a headboard were plain white, like canvases. I can't remember if there used to be Mickeys or castles or something on them in the past, but the only artwork in the whole room was maybe a cactus. I'm not sure. It was like an up close, like a zoomed in photo. Maybe it was a cactus. And there was no Mickeys anywhere, but none on the carpets, none on the doors, none of like anywhere.
That's where
Riviera is like Mickey. And so I thought that was really strange. So I don't know if they're in the process of an upgrade or a renovation that's coming where there's going to be them, and they weren't where they seem to be. But those were the 2 things that that I was bummed about at the Contemporary. Everything else was fabulous. And I think that's all that I had.
All right. Well, we went our full hour, and Ulli, I really appreciate you coming and joining us. I really appreciate everybody who watched tonight, because I know we were in competition with other things. That seems to be a trend lately. If you joined us late, we are going to put this up on YouTube, and we would love to have more people on. So let us know if you're going on a trip. We would love to share your experiences too. But I love Ulli. Thank you so much for being our first. And
thank you so much. It was my pleasure. And for everybody that I know that joined in tonight, I know you joined in for me, and I appreciate you so much. But if you have a trip coming, or if you have a love of Disney like I do, Dave and Tony N, every week they release a podcast on iHeartRadio and other places, but they release that every Wednesday, usually sometimes Thursday, and they do this lives every Tuesday now. And they're just amazing, down-to-earth people. I know I did most of the talking tonight, but they're a really lot of fun to listen to too. So stick around, like their page, join their group, and they have a wonderful travel agent in here, Mandy Ray Malinowski. If you need some travel help, she'll be happy to help you book your trip. And of course, you know me, I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Wow, that was a good bumper. I'm going to keep that as a bumper. All right.
Thank you so much, Ulli. And
thanks for joining us. Yeah,
we had so much
awesome.
fun. We're going to end the broadcast now. And if you missed any of it, we'll be up on YouTube later. So
take us out with the droid there.
Oh,
he's not ready.
He's not ready. Dave, pressure. You put pressure on him.
I love it. Thank you, Ulli. Love you.
Good night, everybody. Good night.
Thanks for joining, everybody. Love you guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.